Hello everybody and welcome to G for G here on YouTube. Today, I didn't mean to search for a new fight. Oh, I want that back. We are here in Marvel Future Fight for the mid-March update. And had a video on it, deleted it, ran a little long, it was like 34 minutes. I want to knock that down a bit. So the splash screen is new. We don't have the Doctor Strange video anymore, and I think people are thrilled about that. They didn't really want to just keep dealing with that video anymore. I'm just running through some timeline stuff over here, and in case you're not aware, timeline rewards have gotten really good. I do believe 70 wins is one of the biggest. I've heard of people getting up to like 1.5 million gold from doing their timeline stuff. I don't know if that's the 70, if that's 10 in a week or the 30, but apparently timeline is viable now for getting some income, which is pretty cool because co-op got hit, you know, pretty hard. So timeline battles are now a thing you may want to spend a little time investing in. I some days tended to do my one for the dailies and then quit. Other days I would go a little further. And I do believe now this is a representation of the person's highest league, so maybe it gives you a little bit more idea of what kind of a fight you're taking on. Loki is not normally part of my PvP loadout. It's usually Carnage over here instead of Mr. Emerald Tits. Emerald Mermaid Tits over here. But he is a recommended hero for this rotation, so I figured, why not? And I'm not running any of the restricted, but man, talk about a anti-power creep over there. No Thanos and no Odin. That might mess some people up. So, what do we got that's new and exciting in this particular patch? Well, so recently, not the most recent patch, but of course recently we had the Alliance Store come out, which is pretty cool. With the Alliance Store, you can donate up to 1 million of your gold, and it is once a day, so I've already did it today. I happen to donate 1 million, and you get Alliance tokens, which you then spend in the Alliance Store, and depending upon the rank of your Alliance, that dictates what you can purchase. So you start off with energy and clear tickets, and then you go to what I think is a high point, is the shield booster and experience boosters for only 50. I think these two are phenomenal choices, and phenomenal choices to include fairly low down the rung. Excuse me, throat's something irritating my throat there a little bit. So these two, I think, are just great, and I think they're great where they sit on the ladder. Like, kudos to this decision. Then you get a 20 biometric selector at 110. This gets a little expensive and hard to maintain daily. This, I think, is good for surplus coins. And then we get the stuff that I can't see the prices on in card chests, ISO chest, gear chest, Uru chest. This is a big power spike in the store right here, because if you're struggling in 12 and you can maybe buy an Uru that's in a mission you can't clear, that's good. And then we have BAM, Rainbow Stones, and 50 biometrics. So again, these two I think are a huge power spike, especially the BAM. I mean, that's Doctor Strange, that's Odin, that's the Black Order. If you're in a high-level alliance and maybe you're a little bit noobish and can't do a whole lot, 5-5 your world bosses every day, or don't have the time for world bosses, or are not doing well on Thanos but do okay in the others, so you kind of miss a day, this might not be too bad. And if you're just starting off and maybe you clear Proxima and Black Dwarf but not the others, go like 5-5 on your Prox and BD days, and then maybe like spend on the others. I don't know the prices of these. I would imagine they would start getting pretty high, but Uru Chest and Bam, I think is a really good high point, and this is probably going to be expensive. If it's 110 for 20, um, you know, do the math and kind of figure where that will be. Clearly, unless it's a steep discount, we're talking at least 220 to potentially 250 for that, and that's going to be a lot of tokens to try and do that daily. And of course, you could go to Alliance Arena. There's this new content that is coming, the Alliance Tournament and Alliance Battle, and but yeah, I think the shield booster and character boosters are great. Unfortunately, a lot of people have begun to notice this. I certainly did, but it seems this... Oh, well, there we go. This was $9.99 and this was $3.99 on nearly all of my devices the other day. I checked the phone, I checked tablet, I checked on KO player on my laptop. I gave up. I thought it was a permanent change, so I'm now lost $1 because now it's down to $8.99 and $3.49. Now this isn't up for me, which is good, but yeah, I kind of screwed up by $1 now apparently. That sucks. A lot of people, we were going back and forth on a Facebook group that I'm part of, and everybody's like, yeah, it seems like it's $9.99. It's not fixing itself this time. And I said, well, I only got like 7 hours left, and I gave up, and I got it for $9.99, and now it's back down. I'm pissed. Not super pissed. It's only $1. So, new uniforms. The 2 uniforms I have not gotten and probably do not plan to spend on is Punisher from Marvel Daredevil. I just never use Punisher. Don't give a shit about him. Not really going to get a uniform for him. I mean, somebody may need it for uniform upgrade, but this Luke Cage one, considering I have nothing for Luke Cage, so that means inherently this is a good uniform, and Backup Call and Sweet Christmas are changed. Sweet Christmas has a stun. This is his Netflix representation. I may get this by the end, just in case. But I don't really think Punisher's that great and Luke Cage is that great, so I just not in a rush. We also have Danny Frorand over here, or Permrand. Since he's on screen, let's talk about this a little bit. So, Luke Cage comes out on Netflix, and some of the criticism was, wow, Luke Cage is really a black show. There are so many black people. If we did this with whites and black people, people would say it's racist because there's all these whites and only one black guy. Well, this is like all these black guys, and this is one white guy. And fuck, he's a corrupt cop. Well, that sucks. So, listen, people, when you say, like, Luke Cage is blackwashed or something, he is a black superhero who has connections to other black people like Misty Knight, and he's in Harlem. What do you expect? A bunch of Polish and Irish immigrants to be running around? He's in Harlem. He's a black superhero. That criticism destroyed me. It's like, what is the stupidity of this world now that is the criticism of the Luke Cage series? Now, with Iron Fist, here comes we're whitewashing the character. Dude, Danny Rand is Caucasian. Did a lot of... I know he did a lot of stuff where he was training and everything, but he is a Caucasian character. So to say that he was whitewashed is ridiculous. It's the same people who went, look at the Spider-Woman cover pose. It is so sexual. And yet, we could bring out the proof that Spider-Man was on a cover in the exact same pose with the butt up in the air and the legs and the ass and everything. It's perfectly fair because we already did it to Spider-Man. So why is it so sexual when it's Spider-Woman, but we've done it to Spider-Man in the exact same pose? Like, people really just need to stop fighting over stupid shit and being offended for people who they think should be offended, who never really are. No Asians are going to go and sit there and say, Iron Fist is whitewashed. We were losing all our Asian representation. No. But you're going to get people who are going to be pissed on behalf of Asians, and it's stupid. That's my little rant. This outfit for Elektra I did pick up because it's fucking badass. I mean, not to have a Negan mode over here, but kid, that high is badass. I mean, it's just, I think it's a hot uniform. I think it makes her look incredibly mean and stealthy and ninja-ish and stabbing your face off. I just picked it up. I don't know if it makes her particularly good because it's not like Elektra had a whole lot to work with to make her good, but yeah, so, and then we also have one for Karnak, which turns Karnak into looking like his MCC representation. So by that, I mean in Marvel Contest of Champions, that is how Karnak's appearance is Karnak all new, wow, they should not have put him next to AO like that. That's spooky close in thumbnails over there. So I picked it up because I want to believe Karnak is salvageable into being a decent character. And this is why, I mean, this looked... I took a look at this tooltip and saw remove effect of hit point recovery, time freezing shield, blah, blah. I saw this and I said, there's gonna be a point where this is a mad crucial skill and he's gonna be the only one to do it. And he's gonna be like, you know, Wasp gets you through Doctor Strange and everything. I just think there's gonna be something that this 100% chance to remove the area when an enemy's placed a special effect. I mean, removing a hit point recovery effect like Groot or AO, that seems to be very, very powerful and very situational. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that outfit because I bet you that will mean something. So I left out Punisher and I left out Luke Cage. I still may get Hoodie Cage. I have zero interest in Punisher. Really. So let's take a look at the new characters. Now, as we're scrolling through over here, here is how my T2s are going right now. Still Moon Knight Blackbuster. Look at my Ulik's combat rating. So he's 311. He's 311 not because I'm so fucking good. It's probably because nobody gives a shit about Ulik. And I'm so... It's like a punch in the dick to see this happen. Because when Ulik was released, I saw something in him. I was like, I'm going to jack his crit up. And he's going to get resets like crazy. And he's going to keep that physical immunity up. And I know he's wearing a Wizard of Oz like Emerald City garb or something over here. But I was like, this poor monkey, I'm going to do something with him. I know what I'm going to do. And I was like doing it. And even his obelisk was crit for a little while until it got upgraded. I was like, all right, max hit points, fine. But he's got 66%. He's got a 66 crit rating. He's been as high as the 70s, and he's just okay. He's not what I thought I could make him to be, and that is proof in the fact that my poor Lulik is 311. They were a fun band, by the way. 311 did some decent music, but they've kind of disappeared. So, yes, we now have this power ranking that tells you how your X character compares to other X characters. So they have these points and they have these ranks. Again, kind of high because nobody T2's Ultron or gives a shit about them. But when we go to popular characters... This is now, I'm actually impressed with this one. The fact that my Sharog, when everybody has a Sharog and everybody uses Sharog for stuff, the fact that I can break into the 4-digit range on mine, that, to me, I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. My Hella is about 5,000. She's been in the fours at times too. Having 4-digit characters I like, and then I look at Werewolf and wow, my Werewolf is actually really high. I'm surprised. I thought people really use him for his leadership. Meanwhile, here my AO 19527. My Doctor Strange is going to be abysmal. He's so abysmal he's unranked. That's how. I wonder what my Enchantress is. 7096 is really not bad. Again, pretty well-known character. But then here, 36. So when you hit this, you get a breakdown of what your score is coming from. So you've got skills, gear, equipped ISOs, custom gear, the obelisk, and how your cards are helping that character out. So, you know, where... God, my card is probably not going to be that good. 1730. So here my Carnage, which I put a lot. Oh, I gotta work. Wow, I really need to work his Uru. I'm gonna have to remember to do that and give him good Urus. But it's a very number crunchy thing, and people like World of Warcraft readers would be familiar with it. Like when you compare your Shadow Priest to other Horde Shadow Priests, or Horde and Alliance, or your server, or the world, or your region, like just the US, or just your server. It's very number crunchy, ranky, and I think it's very fun for the hardcores. And you know, if that's not what you're into, you're just not going to care. You're like, oh, okay, that's nice. I have an arbitrary number down there. So, I recently T2'd Kale because that was recommended by JW. It was like, Kale and Mordo, you got to do it, dude. Awesome DPS. I picked Kale over Mordo first, but I might be regretting that. Mordo seems to maybe have some more iframes. I need to give Kale a chance against big boy stuff and see how he does. But I may have made a mistake. So, out of Kale and Mordo, if I made a mistake, certainly let me know. I will hang my head in shame if I did screw that up. My Mordo's, he's getting there. I just chose Kale first, but it might have been a mistake. I would like to do Hella, honestly. I know she's not high in the power rankings, but she's just kind of fun to play. I may still do Moon Girl. Ironheart, I don't think I will. This Iron Fist, I think I might make a push for him. T2. Mordo, I think I would like to T2. And then my list kind of goes flat for a little while until we start talking about the new characters. So we had the Inhumans update, and we had people like Medusa and Karnak and everything like that. Yeah, it didn't seem like anybody really came out of that patch as like being, oh, you have to get this dude. But here, recently we added Maximus, Crystal, and, you know, Medusa, Inferno. This thumbnail of Crystal really reminds me of the original Superman 2 from the late 70s, early 80s. The three people who come out of that floating square Forbidden Zone thing. One of them was female. That scowly, pissed off, angular face really reminds me of that actress. The one who played the girl all in black from the Forbidden Zone or wherever it is that Superman's villains go to. Karnak's new uniform over here, Inferno, and then we have Kid Kaiju, Hellcat, and Robbie Reyes. Now, everybody had all the hype behind Kid Kaiju before the patch came out, and now I'm beginning to hear negative opinions. Sorry for the audio pause there. I sneezed. So now people are kind of saying the Kid Kaiju hype was worthless. I still see some people defending him, so let me know what you think. On paper and in training videos or trailer videos, he looked fun and he had a lot of these summons out and these crazy creatures and whatnot. But now people are just not as thrilled with him, and they're pushing it more on Robbie Reyes and Hellcat. Uh, I got one pack for Hellcat and one pack for Robbie Reyes. I don't run Ghost Rider in this game, but I love this skull. The back kind of reminds me of the back of Big O from Megaduce, but this is just such a cool look. It's like the Joker is on fire with a metal mask or something like that. But I've heard some good things about him. People have said he's a lot like the original Ghost Rider, and he's all flame based. So I mean, clearly your flame obelisks are going over there. Hellcat, she's a speeder, and she has some decent skills in there, including a crit rate up, and she bleeds here. 5% chance when attacking enemies to cause bleeds. I think if you jacked up her crit rate and had White Tiger leading for her, see, enhances the skill effect of Wildcat, which is the bleed one. Um, I believe with the right leadership, like you built her like my Ulik, just very heavy crit and everything, and then had White Tiger lead for her, and the fact that she has a stun here, she might be viable for advanced content. Stun them, use speed to poke them away, get them bleeding, and maybe just kite them around, kind of like Loki a little bit, and then stun, bleed people, run around, run around. It might be tedious, but it could be a potential viable strategy for her. Kid Kaiju, I like his stuff, and he actually has awesome leadership. This is a unique leadership in all attack, all defense, and all speed up. And then Monsters Unleashed bumps that up along with Hyvo Summon, which is Summon an Illusion with his stats. I think this is the one that comes out in the beginning of the match. Also, Sizzix Summon causes a burn. I want to believe that Kid Kaiju is still worth the hype, but honestly, he might not be. I really, I don't know. I don't get a chance to take these characters and like 1 to 60 them and T2 them instantly, but you know, guys, let me know what you think out of that. Do you think Kid Kaiju is worth the hype? Yes or no? If he's not, who are you hyped for in this new one and why? And take into consideration, like, I'm approaching this from an Alliance Battle World Boss kind of a thing. So you can make anybody do Shadowlands floor, you can make anybody do, like, pretty well on timeline, and people run counters to the meta like Wasp against Doctor Strange, but I'm talking playing around with the big boys. Not super big boys of Alliance Tournament, but the big boys of PvE. If it's not Kid Kaiju, who is it for you? And what do you think of the new uniforms? Do you think I'm okay in skipping the Punisher one? Because I never really used it. The Luke Cage one I really do think I will get. I think I will get right towards the tail end of the sale just to give Luke Cage a little bit of a boost. So that's it for me, guys. That is the mid-March update. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, like it, feel free to subscribe. Coming up, I want to do a Proteus video in Heroes of the Storm, and may come back to DC Legends to talk about all 3 in the Aquaman trio now that I have Mira unlocked too. I'm really impressed with Siren. Aquaman's okay, but I really, really like Siren over there. But yeah, let me know what you think of the uniforms. Let me know what you think of the new heroes. And again, you know, Kid Kaiju, he's the one that everybody talked about as this was coming out. Is he worth it? So, see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video.